Hello and welcome to my eye drawing tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to draw an eye from the scratch, and I'm going to tell you where we should pay the most attention to. In that way you'll be able to draw an authentic and beautiful eye. On the left hand side we can see an eye that consists of the most mistakes made by the majority of the people. The shape of an eye is not drawn as a fish, which the most of the people do. Furthermore, a very common mistake are the eyelids, which should not be drawn straight up in the air and parallel to each other, but more in different directions, where almost every eyelid have their own size and volume. Another important point is the contrast in the picture. The most of the people draw this glare very white, but this glare has also a shade projected on and own shape as well. The darkest place on the picture has to be the pupil, and the whitest part has to be the light reflection, which you can see on the pupil itself. If you draw such a horizontal line, which I highly recommend, you can see where the iris should be placed. The picture needs to have a contrast by involving light and shade into it. Before we start, we need to pick the right equipment. In our case, we use a pencil of the type H. For the folding process, we use the pencil type B1. And of course a rubber as well as a makeup pad for the blur. So, I wish you a lot of fun with this tutorial. Please give thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like it, and leave your comments down below if you have any question. The eye basically consists of 5 different parts: pupil, iris, sclera, and the eyelids. First of all, we have to start drawing an eye, either from a picture or from the imagination. I personally recommend starting drawing from a picture because it's easier to start with. First, we draw a very fine horizontal line and sketch the outlines of our eye. Important here is not to be afraid to start drawing the eye and not to press too hard on the pencil. In that way we can erase mistakes easily. On top, we need to decide where the light is hitting the eye from. The contrast of shade and light give the picture the perfect volume. Especially important are the light reflections, which is our widest place on the picture, seen on the pupil, and the outer part from the eye, which is our darkest place as well. In our case, the light is hitting the eye from right, meaning that the light reflection is going to be placed right, and the shade of the outer eye is falling from the left. The light reflection has its own volume and size, which is very important to make the eye as lively as possible. We should consider not to draw the eyelashes right now. The reason for that we will find out later. To draw the pupil, we are using a pencil of the type B1 and draw the pupil by filling out the sketch. This type of pencil has a very black color itself, and it is not necessary to press on the pencil as it is also very breakable. Be careful not to draw over the light reflection. Going over the iris, we need to draw lines from the pupil to the edge of the iris to the center. Important to mention is not to draw over the light reflection, but more around it and in the same way. The lines have to be different and not as same as the other lines. When filling out the sclera, the drawn lines have to be made with the shape of the eye. In our case, since it is an eye, by drawing half circles. This is how we get such a volume-shaped eye. If you look at the picture as a whole piece, we need to see where the light is coming from, and therefore draw the shade in the right direction as well. Since our light is hitting from right, so will our shade go to the left. A lower part needs to be drawn out very finely and carefully. To make the eye already more realistic and to give it more volume and smoothness, we blur out the area a bit. In addition to it, we blur out the sclera and also the upper part of the eye. For blurring the places, we use just normal makeup remover tissue. It is important to move from the details to the whole picture and back to the details. By that, we are able to evolve the picture as one piece rather than partly. On top, mistakes can be seen much better if going away from the details as well as going back to the details. Going over to the shade of the light reflection and filling out the pupil by the same principle as before, but now from the center to the outlines and with more details. Furthermore, we have to highlight the tear duct and add a light reflection to it as well by using plastiline. Furthermore, we have to highlight the tear duct and add a light reflection to it as well by using plasticine for drawings or rubber. Finally, going over to the last step of the eye, adding the eyelids. When drawing the eyelids, it is important to consider the eyelids are never straight next to each other. They are all going into different directions, have their own size and thickness, and look like upside down points. The eyelids have to be thicker on the lower part, but are getting thinner on the upper part. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please give thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And remember not to be afraid to destroy your picture, because the next one is going to be much better.